As a foreigner living in Japan for almost 3 years now, there are so many cool little things that I've come to love about Japan. Japan is absolutely beautiful, but there is another beautiful side of it that I'd like to talk about, and that is the people. I come from the Solomon Islands where a lot of people are very respectful and so kind, but when I got to Japan, I think the level of respect that people have here in Japan is something else. On all public transport, everybody is expected to be considerate of others. Hence, you are not allowed to talk on your cell phones. You have to respect everybody. And respect can also be seen in so many aspects of life here in Japan. Apart from bowing, which I guess is the most obvious way that people in Japan show respect, it's always refreshing as a visitor to know that in public places, Japanese people sometimes go out of their way to help you. And talking about being helpful, when I first arrived in Japan, I was so surprised that when I asked for help along the streets, people were always willing to help me. And this is so heartwarming, taking into account the level of shyness that Japanese people are always known for. And the level of respect of the Japanese people is also reflected in the way they obey rules. In Japan, there are so many unwritten rules, like standing on one side of the escalator while allowing others to walk on the other side. And also at some restaurants, you will see people having the patience to wait in line to enter the restaurant. This is something that people in my country don't have the patience to do. And who in his right state of mind wouldn't want to be around people who are so peace-loving and orderly? And talking about the respectful people of Japan, we need to mention how safe Japan is. I haven't consulted Google for this, but personally, I think Japan is one of the safest countries on earth. This is coming from someone who hasn't gotten the opportunity to live in so many different countries. But I think a lot of people who have lived in Japan would agree with me. Please leave a comment below and tell me about your own experience. For me, sometimes I don't lock my apartment. And as well as that, if you forgot something in one of the public places, chances are really high for you to find those lost properties. Now, there are petty crimes here and there, but I think the level of crime here is very low compared to other countries, and even compared to my own country, the Solomon Islands. Talking about safety, there is another aspect of Japanese life that really fascinates me, and that is the level of commitment of the people. I understand that there is this really popular negative aspect of the work culture here in Japan that a lot of people are talking about, but that is a topic for another day. For the past 3 years, I have noticed that the level of commitment by Japanese people when it comes to things like work and school is just unmatchable. You can argue that it is the negative work culture that drives people to be so committed. But I think being committed is very important. At school, I've learned so much from the level of commitment by my Japanese classmates. I'm a huge procrastinator, but these Japanese students are so committed, and you need to be around them to see what I'm talking about. I believe as humans, if we are committed in everything that we do, we are going to see very good results. And listing the coolest things about Japan won't complete without mentioning the transport system. Japan has one of the most efficient transport systems in the world. When I first arrived in Tokyo, I always got lost on trains because I was so confused with the train system. But after living here for a few months, I've noticed that the transport system in Tokyo is one of the most efficient in the world. Talking about efficiency, we are talking about trains that are always on time, super clean and super orderly. I live in Odaiba and we use a super cool line called the Yurikamome line. This is an automated monorail that travels from Shimbashi to Toyosu. Having said that, if you want to find out some challenges of living here as a student, please check out this video right up here. This is Harold. Please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.